Christmas was coming, but George wasn't excited. He missed his mom. She loved Christmas. Now everything was different. Dad was always grumpy. He didn't care about decorations or presents. Christmas felt very blue. George wished things could be like before. He missed Mom's laugh. He missed her warm hugs. Most of all, he missed her Christmas spirit. Christmas without Mom just wasn't the same. What could George do? He wanted his dad to be happy again. He wanted to feel the magic of Christmas. But how? One chilly winter day, Nana Flo came to visit. She was George's beloved grandma, always bringing warmth and joy wherever she went. George had been feeling a bit down lately, especially with Christmas just around the corner. The festive season didn't seem as bright to him this year. Nana Flo was full of energy, a bundle of joy wrapped in a cozy sweater. She had a knack for turning any dull moment into a lively one. Her presence alone could light up a room. She always had a twinkle in her eye, a sparkle that hinted at the mischief and fun she had in store. George knew that whenever Nana Flo was around, something exciting was bound to happen. She gave George a big warm hug, the kind that made all worries melt away. "Don't you worry, Georgie," she said with a reassuring smile. "We'll make this Christmas the best one yet." George looked up at her, his eyes filled with hope. Nana Flo had a way of making everything seem possible. "We'll bring the Christmas cheer back to your dad," she declared with confidence. George's dad had been feeling a bit down too, and the holiday spirit seemed to be missing from their home. But Nana Flo had a plan. She always did. "Let's go to the Christmas fair!" she exclaimed, her eyes twinkling with excitement. Nana Flo knew just what to do to lift everyone's spirits. The Christmas fair was a magical place, filled with lights, music, and the scent of gingerbread. It was the perfect remedy for their holiday blues. "Let's go to the Christmas fair," she repeated, her enthusiasm infectious. George wasn't sure about it at first. The idea of going out and facing the festive crowds seemed daunting. George wasn't sure about it. He had been feeling so low that even the thought of Christmas lights and carols didn't seem to cheer him up. But he trusted Nana Flo. She always had a way of making things better. But he trusted Nana Flo. She had never let him down before. With a deep breath, he decided to give it a try. After all, if anyone could bring back the Christmas spirit, it was Nana Flo. She always had a way of making things better. As they walked to the fair, Nana Flo told George stories of past Christmases, of the joy and laughter they had shared. Her stories were like a warm blanket, wrapping him in comfort and nostalgia. The Christmas fair was full of lights and music. The air was filled with the sound of carolers singing and children laughing. The sight of the twinkling lights and festive decorations began to lift George's spirits. George started to feel a little bit better. The magic of the fair was working its charm. He could see the joy in the faces of the people around him, and it was contagious. Maybe, just maybe, Christmas wouldn't be so bad after all. Maybe Christmas wouldn't be so bad after all. With Nana Flo by his side, George felt a glimmer of hope. The festive season was about love, joy, and togetherness, and with his grandma's help, he was ready to embrace it once more. At the fair, they saw a curious little shop. It was called Marley's Curiosity Shop. The shop was full of amazing things. There were twinkling lights, strange toys, and beautiful ornaments. George had never seen anything like it. "Wow!" gasped George. He felt a tingle of excitement. This shop was truly magical. Nana Flo smiled. "I think we'll find just what we need in here," she whispered. George cautiously entered the shop. He couldn't wait to explore all its wonders. What secrets did this mysterious place hold? George saw a snow globe. It was unlike any he had ever seen before. The globe was perched on a high shelf in his grandmother's cozy living room, surrounded by other trinkets and treasures collected over the years. The snow globe seemed to call out to him, drawing him closer with its mysterious allure. It looked old and magical. The glass was slightly foggy, giving it an ancient appearance, and the base was intricately carved with symbols and patterns that George couldn't quite decipher. It seemed to shimmer with a light of its own, casting a warm glow in the dim room. Inside the globe there was a tiny cottage covered in snow. The cottage was quaint and charming, with smoke gently rising from its chimney, as if a fire was burning warmly inside. Snowflakes swirled around the cottage, creating a serene and peaceful scene that captivated George's imagination. A miniature Santa Claus stood beside it. George was mesmerized. Santa was dressed in his classic red suit, complete with a fluffy white beard and a sack of presents slung over his shoulder. He seemed to be waving at George, inviting him into the magical world within the globe. "This is no ordinary snow globe," Nana Flo whispered. Her voice was soft and filled with a sense of wonder. She leaned in close to George, her eyes twinkling with a secret she was about to share. "It holds the spirit of Christmas." Nana Flo's words hung in the air, and George felt a shiver of excitement run down his spine. The snow globe seemed to glow even brighter, as if it was responding to her words. George looked at her in surprise. Could it really be true? Could this small, delicate object hold such incredible power? His mind raced with possibilities, and he felt a surge of hope and excitement. Could a snow globe really be magical? Nana Flo winked. Her wink was playful, yet filled with a knowing look that made George believe in the magic she spoke of. He felt a connection to the snow globe, as if it was meant for him. "Hold it in your hands, Georgie," she said. Her voice was gentle and encouraging. George reached out and carefully took the snow globe from the shelf, feeling its weight and the coolness of the glass in his hands. "Make a wish for your dad's happiness this Christmas." Nana Flo's words were filled with love and warmth. George's heart swelled with emotion as he thought of his dad and how much he wanted him to be happy. George held the snow globe tight. He could feel the magic within it, a gentle hum that seemed to resonate with his own heartbeat. He knew this was a moment he would never forget. He closed his eyes and made a wish. He wished with all his heart for his dad's happiness, for a Christmas filled with joy and love. As he made his wish, he felt a warmth spread through him, as if the snow globe was sharing its magic with him. Suddenly the snow globe started to glow. George and Nana Flo were whisked away in a flurry of snow. When they opened their eyes, they were in a magical winter wonderland. A little elf with a big hat popped out from behind a snowman. "Welcome to the Christmas Express," she chirped. "I'm Trixie." Next to her stood a reindeer. But not just any reindeer, this one was purple. "And I'm Randolph," the purple reindeer grumbled. He didn't look very impressed. "Now let's get this over with. I have places to be." Section 6 Lessons from Christmas Past. The Christmas Express took them to different Christmases. First they went to the past. George saw his dad as a young boy. He was laughing and playing. Back then his dad loved Christmas. George realized something sad. His dad had forgotten how to be happy at Christmas. He missed Mom too. George wished he could help his dad remember the joy of Christmas. Tricksie and Randolph led them back to the Christmas Express. George wondered what other secrets they would uncover. Section 7. The Present Brings Hope. Next they visited Christmas Present. George saw his dad at home. He looked sad and lonely. George's heart ached for him. But then, something wonderful happened. Dad found a letter George had written him. It was full of love and Christmas wishes. Dad started to smile. He read the letter again and again. George felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe Christmas could be special again. Maybe his dad could find happiness even without Mom. Section 8. A Glimpse of Christmas Future. The Christmas Express took them to one last stop, Christmas Future. George was scared at first. What would he see? But then, he saw a beautiful sight. His dad was laughing. He was surrounded by friends and family, and most importantly, he looked happy. It was the best Christmas ever. George realized that even though Mom was gone, they could still have a happy Christmas. Section 9. The Miracle on Ebenezer Street. When George woke up, it was Christmas morning. The air was filled with the scent of pine and the faint sound of Christmas carols playing softly in the background. He could hardly contain his excitement as he jumped out of bed, his heart racing with anticipation. He ran downstairs, his feet barely touching the steps. To his amazement, his dad was already up and decorating the Christmas tree. The tree was adorned with twinkling lights, shiny ornaments, and a beautiful star on top. George's eyes widened in wonder as he took in the sight. His dad looked happier than he had in a long time. There was a sparkle in his eyes and a genuine smile on his face. Something George hadn't seen in years. It was as if the magic of Christmas had brought back the joy that had been missing from their lives. "Merry Christmas, George," his dad said with a warm smile, his voice filled with love and happiness. George felt a warmth spread through his chest, a feeling of pure joy and contentment. George knew something magical had happened. It wasn't just the decorations or the presents under the tree. It was the feeling of love and togetherness that filled their home. It was a feeling he would never forget. It was a Christmas miracle. The kind of miracle that only happens when you truly believe in the magic of the season. George felt a sense of wonder and amazement knowing that this Christmas would be different from any other. He hugged his dad tight, feeling the love and warmth radiating from him. It was a moment of pure happiness, a moment that George would cherish forever. "Merry Christmas, Dad," he said, his voice filled with emotion. It was a simple phrase, but it carried so much meaning. It was a reminder of the love and bond they shared. George learned that Christmas is about love. It's about family. It's about the moments we share with the people we care about the most. It's about creating memories that will last a lifetime. And it's about remembering those we love, always. Even if they are no longer with us, their spirit lives on in our hearts. Christmas is a time to honor their memory and celebrate the love they brought into our lives. From that day on, George and his dad celebrated Christmas together. They made it a tradition to decorate the tree, exchange gifts, and spend quality time together. It became their special time, a time to reconnect and strengthen their bond. They filled their home with laughter, joy, and the true spirit of Christmas. Their house was always filled with the sound of laughter, the smell of delicious food, and the warmth of love. It was a place where the magic of Christmas lived on, year after year. George and his dad made countless memories together, each Christmas more special than the last. They would sit by the fire, sipping hot cocoa and sharing stories. They would sing carols, bake cookies, and watch Christmas movies. Every moment was a treasure, a reminder of the love they shared. They created their own Christmas traditions, ones that they would pass down through generations. It was a time of joy, love, and togetherness. A time to celebrate the miracle of Christmas and the magic it brings into our lives. And so every year, as the snow fell gently outside and the lights twinkled on the tree, George and his dad would look at each other and smile. They knew that the true spirit of Christmas was not in the gifts or the decorations, but in the love they shared and the memories they created together. The miracle on Ebenezer Street was not just a one-time event, it was a reminder that the magic of Christmas is always there, waiting to be discovered. It's in the laughter of a child, the warmth of a hug, and the love that fills our hearts. It's a miracle that we can all experience, if we just believe.